We are in Harbor City, California for the Division III LA City Section Girls Championship basketball game on the campus of Narbonne High School. On the Gauchos Pavilion floor, it'll be decided tonight between two outstanding teams. Top-ranked Washington Prep against number 2 seeded Vaughn, the Tigers from San Fernando. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. You just heard it. This is number 1 against number 2, so no surprise that both teams won their 3 playoff games, and they had little or really no difficulty qualifying for this championship game. We expect a very hard-fought battle. We are excited tonight to have the legendary one from the LA Times, Eric Sotheimer, joining us. Eric, first and foremost, we're at Narbonne High School, and that in itself is a story.
Yes, these are unusual times in Southern California with weather conditions. There was a leak in the Birmingham High roof, their gym, and so they decided to come out to Narbonne. I brought out the shades in honor of playing at this dark area, this dark facility where you can't hardly see sometimes, right?
I thought you were just going incognito for a moment because everybody knows who you are. All right, Andrea Cervantes is the one to watch. She is terrific for the Vaughn Tigers. She's been brilliant in the tournament.
Cervantes is really a fiery little point guard who gets things going on defense with her steals and also gets everybody involved on offense. Really a player that Washington Prep has to make sure they contain in this game.
The Generals have a big-time scorer, a young talent. Her name is Juju Lucien. She averages 21.5 a game.
Yeah, Lucien really is an offensive star, a scoring machine, and Vaughn is certainly going to have to maybe double-team her to do well tonight.
We're going to come back, and we're going to have the starting lineups and the tip-off on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, the championship game for Vaughn and Washington Prep. That's next on LA36.
Southern California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And welcome back to Narbonne High School, Gaucho Pavilion, getting set for Vaughn in the dark uniforms against a very fine team from Washington Prep. There's the starting lineup for the White Tigers. Martinez, Cervantes, Ferrero, who's a lefty who can really fill it up. Helen Cervantes, yes, the Cervantes girls are sisters. And number 22 is very good, Mariah Elyoki, 2-year starter. On the flip side, the starting unit in this Division III championship game for the Generals, India Cage, Juju Lucien. They love Renisha McLean, very talented performer, Jasmine Harris, and Kamora Jackson, who's a big physical presence in the paint.
What to look forward to early on is the Washington Prep press, full court press. Their head coach, Duran Marshall, came from Crenshaw, played for Willie West. And remember those old Crenshaw teams, Randy? It was 32 minutes of hell, press, full court press, and that's what Washington Prep's going to try to do here.
Yeah, Crenshaw won 16 city titles under Willie West. Head coach is Israel Ortiz in his 14th year for the Vaughn Tigers. And Duran Marshall, in his first season, he has Washington Prep in the D3 final. Here we go. Lead official Teresa Rush tosses it up and easily controlled by Jackson, but it goes to Vaughn. White Tigers with a great record, 19-5. They were 9-1 in the Valley League, and they've won 7 in a row coming in. Washington wants to start quickly. They believe if they can get you early and build a lead, They're tough to come from behind against. There's a walking violation, and it's back to Vaughn.
Yeah, turnovers are very important here in girls basketball. It's the offensive rebounds and turnovers that you want to take a look at after the game. You'll be able to figure out who won.
Deflected away by the quick hands of Juju Lucien. Jalea, but they call her Juju Lucien. Terrific player. Again, she averages over 21 a night. Bringing it in is Ferreira. Number 5 is Cervantes. Ferreira is a very fine perimeter shooter. Cervantes with a nice dish. Ball did not go down for Hazel Martinez. Went in and out. And up the floor comes Ronisha McLean. First minute, still scoreless. McLean with it. And a traveling violation. Excellent defense from Helen Cervantes.
So far, Vaughn is doing a good job of attacking the zone. Did a great job of cutting in there, and that's what you'll do against Washington Prep. And they'll have to make some shots to open up the zone, though.
Inside is Martinez. Outside is Cervantes. Second opportunity for the White Tigers. Long range jumper. Hit the back of the iron for Helen Cervantes. And again, another opportunity for Vaughn.
Washington Prep is giving too many opportunities early on. You're not attacking the boards. You got to get those rebounds and get their fast break going.
Generals sitting in a 2-3 zone. They'll mix it up. Ferreira to Helen Cervantes. Ferreira. Too strong with that one, but a solid rebound by LUK. LUK does all the dirty work. We're still scoreless. Cervantes thought she was fouled. We've played 2 minutes. The Generals, the top seed, 17-11, as they turn it over again out of the Coliseum League, which houses two great programs in Crenshaw and King Grove. Generals have beaten Gardena, Franklin, and Harbor Teacher easily to get here. The Vaughn White Tigers with wins over University, Triumph Charter, and Contreras in the semifinal. The floater by Cervantes. Her sister Helen went for it, deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Vaughn. Vaughn's getting second opportunities.
You would think playing a zone, that's why you play a zone, to get the defensive rebounds. But so far, not working well for Washington Prep.
There's that three-ball opportunity for Yami Ferreira. She averages 11 a game. She's had big scoring games in the tournament. Cage is tied up. It'll stay with Washington Prep. The Generals will try it again. 3-0 on the three ball from Yami Ferreira. Deflected away. The quick hands again of Ferreira. Cervantes lost the handle. Picked up by Jasmine Harris of the Generals. Open look out of the corner. Lucien too strong, but another opportunity. Generals have started cold in this opening quarter. Vaughn likes to try the three ball, as you can tell. Strong rebound. Yanked down by Kamora Jackson, but a takeaway. Cervantes missed it. Her sister got it back. Here's an opportunity for the Generals. They have numbers. McLean all the way. Got it. Ronisha McLean. A 3-2 lead for the Tigers.
That's what Washington Prep does best in transition.
Down the other side, it was laid up and in by Hazel Martinez. 5-2 with 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. Good look at Israel Ortiz. He won a 2017 Division IV championship with Vaughn.
Vaughn has to be happy the way things are going early on. They're doing a good job against the 2-3 zone of Washington Prep, and they haven't allowed Washington Prep to create a whole lot of turnovers and get a whole lot of transition baskets, and they're getting offensive rebounds. So far, so good for Vaughn.
Tigers got to be pleased, too, because we know that Washington has come out, Washington Prep in other playoff games, and got off to terrific starts. Vaughn's been able to counter it, and really they're playing terrific defense as well as you look into the Washington Prep huddle. Again, this is a program that's had great success over the years.
Yeah, they actually won 4 consecutive upper division championships in the city section, and that was under the legendary Phil Chase. He was a guy who ran cross country at University High, then attended UCLA and taught him. He was a great chess master and then learned how to coach basketball and did a great job winning titles in 89, 90, 91, and 92 at Washington Prep.
Our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, the championship of D3 in the LA City section in girls basketball. McLean's pass deflected away and a takeaway by Cervantes. Andrea. Rebound again to Jackson. Jackson's had a bad ankle. Missed a large portion of the season. A walk before the shot. The violation gives the ball back to the White Tigers.
6 turnovers for Washington Prep here in less than 5 minutes. That's not a good beginning.
3:20 left, opening quarter. Championship game. The layup around and off. Cervantes got to the rim, though, nearly scored. Elioki gives him a second opportunity. And a tie-up. It'll stay at that end of the building. Alternating possession goes to the White Tigers.
You can see Washington Prep has made a defensive change. They've gone to man-to-man defense, trying to put a little more pressure on the guards of Vaughn.
Well, those Cervantes girls are very quick. Number 1, Andrea to bring it in. Ferreira. Helen Cervantes sneaking in there, got the rebound, but unable to put it in. India Cage is double teamed. Out of bounds. It belongs to the Generals. Great hustle, though, by Helen Cervantes, the freshman, the 5'2" freshman who has great quickness. So fast down the floor for Vaughn. Terrific defense displayed by Andrea Cervantes on the block. And the scoop shot is up and beautiful. 2 more for Ferreira. Ferreira's got 5 early points. His foul against Vaughn. They lead 7-2.
Very impressive start. They're aggressive, Vaughn is. They're not afraid of this game. They seem a little more relaxed than Washington Prep. And they just have to keep this up, and we might have an upset here, Randy.
Again, it's number 1 against number 2, so not a shock that these two teams will be very competitive. There's a timeout on the floor. 7-2 in favor of Vaughn. The White Tigers from the San Fernando Pacoima area will step out and hear from our good friends at Pacific Surfliner.
Hey, it's Vanessa, and I am here in Anaheim checking out all the fun things to do. Start your visit to Anaheim with a trip on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. You'll arrive at Arctic, which is really close to awesome events. After a short walk, you'll arrive at Angel Stadium, home of the Los Angeles Angels. Catching a game is always so much fun. If you're more of a hockey fan, head over to the Honda Center to see the Anaheim Ducks play. Lots of top-tier concerts happen here, too.
Learn more at PacificSurfliner.com/Game of the Week.
the Generals need some offense, so they've brought in number 15, and they really like her, Kayla Johnson. Instant points off the bench. She averages 9 a game and can really shoot the three.
Washington Prep has a size advantage, but so far that's not being utilized.
This foul goes against the White Tigers. Lucian with a strong drive, and she's going to go to the free throw line.
Check that. 22, Marina
Elyoki picks up her first foul. Again, Lucian is a big-time scorer. Had 30 points in the quarterfinals against Franklin.
If you're a big-time scorer, then you got to be a very good free throw shooter, because that's an easy way to add to your points total. And you can see the routine of Lucian.
Last touch by Vaughn and out of bounds. It'll belong to the white-clad Generals. Gabby Hernandez was the last one to touch it. Another tie-up. It'll stay with the Generals. In the girls' game, you'll see a lot of jump ball tie-ups. So there's a lot of alternating possessions. Lucian had a good look. Cage battling for it, but it's taken down by Martinez. And up the floor comes Yami Ferreira. Ferreira coming off a 22-point game against Triumph in the tournament, and they continue to pour him in. Andrea Cervantes from downtown.
The stars for Vaughn are delivering, and nobody's better than Andrea Cervantes. Leave her open on a three, and she will burn it.
Cage banked it in. India Cage. She's normally very strong going the basket. Very good defensive player is India Cage. And some pressure from Washington creating some trouble. Lucian working hard at the defensive end.
This is Cervantes. Great arch on a three-point shot, and it was true to go in there, Rand.
Well, Ferrara and Lucian, both tremendous three-point shooters for the respective teams. Cervantes with the quick hands deflected it out of bounds. Andrea Cervantes. 10-5. Number 2 seeded Vaughn leading. Opening quarter. 4 8-minute stanzas at the prep level. Dangerous pass on the inbound. Finally taken by Jasmine Harris. That one's going to roll in. That one rolled around the iron for Cage and went down. 10-7, and Washington Prep making a move. That's a walk whistled against Hazel Martinez.
Washington Prep's defense producing some turnovers. That's what was expected and starting to happen.
Inside of a minute to play in the quarter, and a takeaway and a breakaway for Cervantes. She's underneath. She scores. Brilliant play by Helen Cervantes, the freshman. Builds the lead back to 5. And the pressure defense, Cervantes with the theft. Another layup that falls off the arm by Ferreira. Unselfish team, and one. Great finish by Cervantes.
That was Cervantes to Cervantes. They really like each other, these two sisters, because that was the freshman handing it back to her sister.
Her older sister. We hear brotherly love. This is sisterly love. Good look at number 1. Andrea is a 2-year starter, all Valley League. 20 points, 11 steals, and 8 rebounds against Contreras in the semifinals. And Jackson's tied up, and it'll stay with Vaughn. 21 seconds left in the quarter. 14-7. Vaughn's built that lead back up.
10 turnovers for Washington Prep. That will give the opposing team an advantage.
Another turnover. This one whistled against the White Tigers. Cervantes with the walk. Well, the quickness of Vaughn has bothered Washington. And there's another takeaway. Cervantes lays it up, missed it. Foul against Helen Cervantes. These two Cervantes girls are causing havoc. 4th team foul against the White Tigers. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Lucian all the way. 1 second. Won't count. No basket. Helen Cervantes, a little bit tardy. Ran the floor beautifully on the rim run. But it came after the buzzer. It's 14-7 after one for Vaughn in our Division III championship game. The Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on LA36.
California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Second seeded Vaughn, the White Tigers, with a healthy first quarter. 14-7 lead over top-ranked Washington Prep. They're the two sisters. They have been great. Andrea and Helen Cervantes.
Andrea has 5 points in the first quarter, helped produce 11 turnovers for Washington Prep, really living up to all the expectations that she causes havoc on defense, and when she has the opportunity, she can make the three.
Israel Ortiz, again, does an excellent job with this Vaughn team. Again, they won the 2017 Division IV championship.
He's got a nice bow tie, too, Randy.
He really does, and he has his team well prepared for this final. And again, they force a turnover. They have numbers. Ferreira thought she'd take that three. It's out of bounds, retained by the White Tigers. The other thing about Vaughn is they're very unselfish. Ferreira for three. Here come the Generals. McLean with a nice catch. That's an air ball and out of bounds.
You know, rebounding's about hustle. And right now, Vaughn is out hustling Washington Prep for the ball.
Well, they did a good job there, forcing the air ball from Harris. El Yoki had a good look. Another tie-up. Once again, it belongs to Vaughn from the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, they had a terrific year. Won 19 games this season. Shot put up by Hazel Martinez. She was hit on the arm. She's going to the free throw line. Hazel's a senior, captain, very long. Excellent volleyball player, plays on the outside and in the middle for the volleyball team. They went to the quarterfinals in the city this past year. Good form at the charity stripe for Hazel Martinez. Defense, Hazel does a nice job protecting the paint.
You know, Randy, you remember the days when there were only about 49 high schools in the city section in LAUSD. Now there's well over 100, and Vaughn is one of those newer schools.
Well, they're trying to get their second girls basketball championship. Washington Prep has that height advantage, and here they get another opportunity. But there's that quickness on the perimeter by the Cervantes girls. That'll count, and one for Lucian. Juju's splendid around the basket. She's capable of shouldering the load and bringing her team back.
Well, that was a good power move inside, taking advantage of her height. She's only a 10th grader, really learning the game still.
The sophomore puts it in, has the three-point play. Still learning the game, even though she averages over 21 a night. Good work inside. That's unselfish basketball again, and an easy hoop for El Yoki. Cervantes with the assist.
My goodness, that shows how well coached they are. Moving the ball with passes.
And inside, Juju again. Starts to open up. The shots beginning to fall for both sides. Cervantes back of the iron, no good. That was Helen that shot it. That's a walk. Unfortunately for McLean, who was ahead of the pack. 6 minutes exactly remaining. Second quarter. White Tigers lead is 5. Our Division III LA City Section Championship game. Layla Ortega, number 12, a junior forward, has come in for the White Tigers. Another ball hawk defender. Tipped away by Jasmine Harris with her quick hands. Helen Cervantes, open look, that's her sister. Andre couldn't convert. Here comes Cage, all the way. Rebound Jackson. A run out for Vaughn. Washington got back nicely defensively. Cervantes, Andrea puts it up. Again, there's that quickness. They seem to get all the second shots. Ferreira left alone. Got it back. Yes. Yami Ferreira. They lead by 7.
That's a terrific job by Vaughn, getting second and third efforts. Eventually it's going to go in. Washington Prep has to find a way to limit it to one shot on defense there.
Lucian trying to do everything. Foul by Cervantes. Vaughn has to keep a careful eye on. Lucian has had a nice close look at Israel Ortiz again in his 14th year. Open look. It's buried by India Cage, the junior. And she's noted for defense, but she's knocked down a couple shots in this opening half. The Generals to within 4. Cervantes. Rebound Jackson. And Washington suddenly has the momentum. Cage. That's a nice box out by El Yoki. And she's fouled by Jackson over the back. Number 22 in the dark uniforms, Mariah El Yoki, 2-year starter. Did a nice job of boxing off the bigger player.
I think for the new girls flag football 7-on-7, she'd make a very good tight end. Who's going to cover her this fall?
We're excited about flag football coming into the city section. Of course, it's going to be all through the state. Great opportunity for the young ladies. Turnaround jump shot. Didn't get there for Hernandez. And the top-seeded Generals go on offense. Second opportunity and foul going up is Jasmine Harris. Averages over 7 a game, does Harris. 5'6" sophomore. Young lady at the free throw line, Jasmine Harris, is an excellent saxophone player.
The Washington Prep has a very good band, and music is important at that school.
Her two loves, basketball and the saxophone. Very competitive opening half, and foul shooting could be critical down the stretch. One more for Jasmine. 3.5 GPA for Jasmine as well. Gabby Hernandez pulls down the rebound. Andrea Cervantes was tripped.
Number 2, Jade White.
Jade White, number 2, who's checked in, picked up the personal foul. Jade's a sophomore. Common foul brought in to the White Tigers. Ferreira will back it up. Looking it inside. Elyoki with a great save. Ferreira for 3. Got it. Yami is terrific from the perimeter. 22-15 for Vaughn. 3:10 left opening half. The counter. Burying this one is Jasmine Harris. That was big for the Washington Prep Generals. Ferreira, another one. That was a heat check. Second opportunity. Terrific rebound by Ortega. Cervantes for 3. Rebound, McLean. She goes all the way, lays it up, and in. Ronisha McLean, 22-20. It's carved down to 2 points. 2.5 to play, opening half. Really a good game in our Division III final. Cervantes with a terrific look inside. And a tie-up. Stays with Vaughn.
Well, clearly, number 1 versus number 2 is producing a game worthy of number 1 versus number 2. Very competitive. Both teams trying to overcome some things. Washington Prep had a lot of turnovers early, but they're starting to take care of the ball and get it inside.
A violation gives it back to Washington Prep. And the number 1 seed with a 2 could tie it. A 3 could give them the lead. A nice close look at Hazel Martinez playing with the mask on. Harris, you see the head coach there. That's Durant Marshall. Had some great years at View Park. Also coached the boys and the girls at Animo Robinson High School in downtown LA. 15 is Akela Johnson. Again, she can really shoot it. We haven't seen her pop from the outside, but she can. Vicky Lagos, the commissioner, will be our halftime interview. Eric sat down and had a nice chat with the lead of the city section. You talked about flag football, right?
Yes, definitely. And moving on to a little bit of normalcy here after dealing with COVID-19.
2-point lead for Vaughn. They have the ball. 2 minutes left opening half. Cervantes. Generals try to pick up the tempo. Cage was held. Vaughn's over the limit. Free throwing for the Generals. That's 2 fouls on Andrea Cervantes. India Cage.
India Cage at the line shooting 1 and 1.
Didn't earn the bonus. Easy rebound for Hazel Martinez. Ferrara, got to be very wary of her. Great outside shooter. Ferrara for 3. Each foul will send Washington to the line.
Washington Prep is starting to do a better job of making sure Vaughn doesn't get a second and third shot attempts with some offensive rebounds. And that's why this game is tight.
Foul was on Martinez. Harris at the line. Not hitting their foul shots. That's why Vaughn's been able to retain the lead. Helen Cervantes. Ferrara. Great block by Cage. And she controlled it. India Cage. McLean went strong to the goal and drew the foul.
India Cage is really doing it at both ends of the court. She's made a 3 on offense. She's making an impact on defense. That's what Washington Prep needed.
2 shots, it's double bonus. She was shooting the ball regardless. Ranisha can tie it if she hits them both. Now the best she can do is bring the Generals to within 1. Farrah Davis, number 3, is in the ball game for Washington Prep. That won't count. We have a lane violation. That's disappointing for the Generals.
1 for 7 from the free throw line.
1 minute to play, opening quarter. Now into the half. 1 minute to go before halftime. It's about the point where Vaughn hit a couple key shots in that first quarter. 12 on the shot clock. Ferrara. That one nearly banked in for Ferrara, and she got fouled. She's going to shoot 3. Farrah Davis with the foul.
Well, based on her three-point shooting form, I'd say that she's probably a good free throw shooter. So this is a great opportunity to build the lead into halftime.
Yami Leth Ferrara goes by Yami. 22 points against Triumph, 15 against Contreras. Talked about her offensive skills, but she's terrific on defense as well. Yami Ferrara, 2 more. Swishes the second one. It's a 3-point lead for the White Tigers.
That was so far away from the basket, but she'll take it.
Never a good idea to flash out there and commit the foul when that 3 ball's going up. She hit but 1 of 3. Cage runs it down. Final half minute of the half. Cage all the way. Got it back. Banks it in. India Cage coming on strong for the Generals. It's a 1-point game. Andrea Cervantes. That'll stay with the White Tigers. 4.5 to play. 1-point game. So 1 and 2 separated by 1 point. Juju Lucian picks up her second foul. That's only the 6th, so no bonus. It's brought into Cervantes and she lays it in. The two Cervantes sisters teaming up again. And it's a 25-22 lead for number 2 seeded Vaughn, the Tigers from the San Fernando Valley in the Valley League. Vaughn led most of that half, and they'll take a 3-point lead into the locker room. And when we come back, Eric Sotheimer will chat with the commissioner of the LA City section, Vicky Lagos. That's next on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on LA36.
Southern California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's halftime, and we're pleased to welcome as our guest the commissioner of the city section, Vicky Lagos. Welcome, Vicky.
Well, thank you for having me, Eric. Thanks for coming out and supporting.
Yes, this is an exciting time in the city section. The winter championships are taking place in basketball, soccer, state championships in wrestling. Yes. Doesn't this make you feel good, even though you're a little busy?
We're very busy. We're tired, but yes, this is a great time of the year for us. It's exciting to see our student athletes out here participating. We've had some great contests, some very good sportsmanship as well, so we're happy about that, and we're looking forward to finishing up the weekend.
Well, this is your 4th year as the commissioner. Yes. You used to be a coach. You used to be an assistant commissioner. How is life being the person who has some tough decisions sometimes to make regarding eligibility and dealing with coaches who break rules? I mean, you have to be the person to sometimes say you're wrong. You have to say no sometimes. How have you adjusted to that?
Well, you know, my predecessor, John Aguirre, and I, we actually worked very well hand in hand. So the adjustment and the transition wasn't as huge as you may think. The bigger issue in all that is, you know, we've had some issues like COVID and all that. That was something that we could never have prepared for. But I think we just try to be as fair as we can and to follow the bylaws. And, you know, the schools set the bylaws and we just govern accordingly.
One of the things that are going to be happening this fall is girls flag football is going to take place. I know you're a big proponent of that. You like football. How do you think that's going to go over in the city section?
Well, by early indications, we've had over 35 schools that have signed up to play. We're going to be doing another intra-survey, just making sure, you know, all the parameters that they have, and I think it's going to be very successful. Having it in the fall, we'll have a lot of athletes. We'll give the opportunity for a lot of athletes to do a second sport, a multiple sport athlete. So it should be very exciting. We've met with some of the people in the NFL initiative. We just had a Zoom with some people from the Rams yesterday, and it's an exciting time. It's an exciting sport.
Right. Looking ahead this spring, baseball is returning to Dodger Stadium, right?
Well, we're doing our very, very best, as we always do. There is a concert there booked on both bookends of the weekend, so we're hoping that the concert cancels out. You know, they have both weekends reserved. We're hoping for one of those weekends. If not, we're trying to work within the middle of the week, and I know how much you like to be there on those Dodger Dogs, Eric. We will do our very best to get there for you.
Yes, we have to have the city finals at Dodger Stadium. I don't care what you have to move it to another day, a Sunday, whatever. We need to play that city final at Dodger Stadium. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back and show some highlights of the game.
Hey, it's Vanessa, and I have a magical trip idea just for you. Hop on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner train for a scenic and comfortable ride to Anaheim. You'll arrive here at Arctic. Show your train ticket for a free bus connection to the front gates of the Disneyland Resort. When you take the train, you can unlock a 5% savings on theme park admission. Trains depart late enough for you to stay the whole day and even enjoy the nighttime spectaculars.
Learn more at PacificSurfliner.com/Game of the Week.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our Division III Girls Championship game is led by the Vaughn White Tigers from the San Fernando Valley, from the Valley League, where they were the champions of the Valley League this year, going 9-1. George Washington Prep from the very competitive Coliseum League. They actually finished third, but there's two great programs. Crenshaw and King Drew went into the higher brackets. In fact, Crenshaw went to the semifinals of the Open Division. Well, early on, three-point shooting was a factor for the Vaughn Tigers as Ferreira dropped that one in.
Yeah, Ferreira has really been impressive today, making a couple of shots. She's leading the team in scoring with 10 points.
There's Cervantes from downtown, Andrea Cervantes. And Cage was great. She banked that one in, but she had a marvelous first half.
Yeah, Cage was the key for Washington Prep in coming back from an 8-point deficit, doing both on offense and defense. But Vaughn was able to score some easy baskets inside, what you need to do to win games, and that's why they're up 3 points at halftime.
Gentle strong inside. There's Lucian, and she's a big-time scorer. They've kind of held her in check. There's El Yoki, who had some nice moves inside, and Lucian again.
Yeah, Lucian has 2 fouls, so at the start of the third quarter, she's got to watch out for that. Washington Prep will try to become more aggressive. But they're starting to make some outside shots, so that's encouraging. But they had 17 turnovers in the first half.
Again, Ferreira can bury it from downtown, Yami Ferreira. But the Generals were able to counter as well. The Generals' offense picked up in the second quarter. McLean able to bank that one in. Washington, which started very slowly offensively, came on strong. Here's a nice inbounds play from the Cervantes sisters.
Yeah, it just shows you how well Coach Vaughn is. Those out-of-bounds plays have all been very effective and getting some really good shots. And again, the reason why they're up 25-22 at halftime.
Great coaching matchup, too. Israel Ortiz, who led his team to their first Valley League championship against Duran Marshall from this George Washington Prep. They're masterminding the game plan for both sides. 25-22. Vaughn leads. The second half is next on our Game of the Week from Pacific Surfliner on LA36.
Hey, it's Vanessa, and we are exploring San Luis Obispo. There are so many different unique places to visit here in the city. Right now, we are at one of them. It is called Bubblegum Alley. 2 million pieces of gum on this wall.
Also in downtown, you'll find one of California's most historic Spanish missions. Stop at the Slow Railroad Museum to learn about the railroad history of the Central Coast. Then, round out your trip with some shopping. Pick up souvenirs, art, gourmet food, and other items. Learn more at PacificSurfliner.com/Game of the Week.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Come on!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ready for the second half. It'll be White Tiger basketball. Eric, what do you want to see here in the back half? The Tigers have a 3-point lead.
Washington Prep, 15 turnovers, needs to take care of the ball and also put a little more defensive pressure on this Vaughn team that continues to score inside.
Uelke misses. Jackson rebounds, her 4th of the game. It's a one-possession game at 25-22. Quick hands of Cervantes nearly took it away from Cage. Harris off the mark. Cage over the iron, picked up by Ferreira. Too many steps. Give the ball back to Washington. Of course, the young ladies play with a 30-second shot clock. They've been jacking up the shots pretty quickly, though, Eric.
Thank goodness there's a shot clock. There was a game early this year. I think it was 4-2 in another state.
Yeah, there was. In fact, the team that had 2 had a 3-ball to try to win it and just missed at the end of the game. Yeah, we don't want to see any 4-2 games. There was no shot clock there, and not all the states have the shot clock, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's amazing that they don't want to do a shot clock.
Ferreira, who has 10 points, leading everyone so far. Andreas Cervantes. Ferreira got another one. Another 3-ball for Yami. She's a candidate for our Pacific Surfliner Player of the Game.
Yami has 13 points, and it's a 6-point lead.
Inside, Jackson is alone. She lays it up and scores. Kamora Jackson. Again, she had the bad ankle, came back for the playoffs. She averages 10 points and 7 rebounds a game. Turnover. One of the rare times you'll see Vaughn with an unforced mistake.
Vaughn continues to look for openings in that zone. And now Washington Prep has another opportunity to get back in this game.
Lucian. It's a 1-point game. Juju with a big-time shot from the side. 28-27. The lead is 1. Cervantes. Her sister Helen gets it back. Andrea Cervantes. And she throws it out of bounds. Too tall for Yami Ferreira.
You can see Washington Prep is extending its zone, putting a little bit more pressure on Vaughn. That's created consecutive turnovers, and now a chance to take the lead for Washington Prep.
Israel Ortiz is pleading with his young ladies to settle down here in the third quarter. Chance for the Generals to grab the lead. You better tighten up on Lucian. Jackson had it stripped from her. Taken by Andrea Cervantes. Another opportunity for the Generals. Strong drive by Ronisha McLean, and she's going to the line.
You can see Washington Prep is freeing up Lucian on the baseline, and if she is left open there, that's really an opportunity for the Generals to capitalize.
Hazel Martinez picked up her second foul. You're allowed 5. The game is even at 28. So Washington Prep has fought back. Top-ranked Generals looking for their 7th city championship. Vaughn basketball.
I don't think Washington Prep has ever led in this game from the beginning.
Well, the Tigers have been in control, but Washington Prep has fought back. Helen Cervantes to bring it up. Andrea Cervantes backing it up. Well-coached team, very disciplined. Ferrera for 3. Got another one. 4 3-balls for Yami. Yami Ferrara has been outstanding from downtown. And the counter. Lucian drills it. We're even at 31. 4.5 to play in the third. Terrific championship game in Division III. Cervantes. Chance for the Generals to grab the lead. Here comes Lucian. Through the double team. Harris. Rebound Jackson. He puts it up. Draws the foul. Kimura's going to the line.
I really like the adjustments that Washington Prep has made on offense. Lucian, they put her on the baseline against the zone, and she's finding opportunities with 2 threes in this quarter.
Chance for Washington to get the lead. Finally, Kimura, Jackson, and company have the advantage. A powerhouse in the paint. Kimura Jackson, just a junior. The lead is 1, but a takeaway by Cage, who's everywhere. Easy play to call as McLean took the extra step. Disappointed in herself, but it was an obvious call. Vaughn looking to grab the advantage. Number 1 leading number 2 by 1 point. Cervantes. Her sister gets it back. And it falls in for Andrea. And a timeout taken by the Vaughn Tigers. There's their head coach, Israel Ortiz. You like that bow tie, huh?
Yes, very classy.
30-second timeout there.
And he has done a great job in 14 years building up this Vaughn program. I mean, this game is really going well. Even though there's some turnovers, the teams are hustling now. They're a lot looser. They're making the shots that they need to make. And there's no question this is going down to the wire. And it'll be interesting to see who has the ball last and gets that shot to win it.
Well, the marksmanship from downtown from Yami Ferrera has been expert for Vaughn. She's knocked down 4 triples.
Yeah, a left-hander that really enjoys shooting the three. They're not wild shots. She's accurate, and she's been matched this quarter by Lucien. Juju Lucien is playing like Juju Watkins in this quarter.
Of course, Juju Watkins, the most heralded young girl in America, plays for Sierra Canyon. Lucien on the base. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Generals.
Stay with the Generals.
Cage will trigger it in. 33-32, Vaughn by 1. A tight championship game. Pressure on the perimeter and a takeaway by Cervantes to her sister. Got it. The basket for Helen Cervantes. The assist to Andrea Cervantes. And another takeaway by the Cervantes sisters. Andrea again. 2 more. Suddenly it's a 5-point lead for Vaughn. The Cervantes sisters really causing havoc. Shot taken by Cage, and she's fouled.
It's really about turnovers for Washington Prep. They now have 20 in the game, and the Cervantes sisters are doing a great job out front, creating havoc, as you said, Randy.
2 foul shots for India. India Cage. We've heard so much about her defensive work. As a defensive stopper, tremendous stripping basketballs away from her opponents. But tonight, her offense has provided a spark. Strong rebound, yanked down by Elyoki. Cervantes. Andrea with the floater. They got it back. Foul against Helen Cervantes as she went up strong. Helen's going to the line. Helen Cervantes. Her quickness really causes trouble for her opponents. And tonight it's been very bothersome for the Generals. Talk about the fouls. They are going to be critical. Game's going to go down to the wire. Helen's got 1 more.
I wonder what it's like playing one-on-one between these two sisters back home. They're pretty feisty.
This time we have a lane violation against Vaughn. That shot would not have counted had it have gone. 15 back in for the Generals. That's Akela Johnson. McLean had to come off her heel. Again, those quick hands of the defenders. Watch how quick Vaughn is defensively. And a great rebound for Vaughn's Gabby Hernandez. Cervantes. Yes. The 3 ball for Helen Cervantes. For a freshman, she's very poised. The baby face to fasten. And another theft. Another run out. Helen lost it this time. Lead is 7 points again for Vaughn.
It's Helen and Andrea Cervantes. They really become the stars of this game on defense, producing turnovers and then passing to each other for the basket.
Lucien missed the layup. Juju got right to the basket. Didn't score that time. Helen Cervantes is short. Still plenty of time for the Generals. Final 80 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Timeout taken by Duran Marshall with all that pressure on the outside. 40-33. Washington trailing the Vaughn Tigers on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on LA36.
Hey, it's Vanessa, and I just arrived in Anaheim on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. The train drops you off at Arctic, a modern train station with bus connections to great destinations. Head to the Anaheim Garden Walk to see a concert at the House of Blues or ride to the Packing District to explore OC's original food hall featuring dozens of dining options. There's so much to do, and it all starts with a trip on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner.
Learn more at PacificSurfliner.com/Game of the Week.
Washington Prep forced to take that timeout. They're down 7 here. They have possession. India Cage will bring it in to Juju Lucian, the 5'6" sophomore, a D1 prospect. All the way, Lucian is short with it. McLean doesn't get it. Rebound Ferreira. Her baseball pass into the front court to Helen Cervantes. Look at the passing. Andrea Cervantes. Yes. Nylon for Andrea Cervantes. The lead is 10. This is the biggest lead of the game.
Just tremendous passing and teamwork by Vaughn to get this 10-point lead.
I guess it's not a surprise that the two sisters are so wonderful looking for one another. Oh, the Generals back by 10, and they've just given the ball back to Vaughn. Another violation. Ferrer is free. Those long shots take long bounces. And a run out and a layup. Johnson with the basket. Kayla Johnson. Lead is 8. A traveling violation, so Washington with an opportunity to make a little bit of a mini run here at the end of the third quarter. They were down 10. They cut it to 8, and they still have another opportunity. Johnson misses. Rebound taken by Ferreira. They took the shot too early. Helen Cervantes. That'll end the quarter. So after 3, 43-35, the Vaughn White Tigers leading George Washington Prep, the Generals. Number 2 ahead of number 1. Our Division III championship game, the fourth quarter, is next on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on LA36.
California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Eight minutes separate the Vaughn White Tigers from their second girls city basketball championship. Again, they won the Division IV title in 2017. Now they're looking for the Division III title. That just says that the program is building up. They're moving up the ranks.
Well, they're moving up because of their Cervantes sister. They combined for 13 of the 18 points there in that third quarter.
And the 43 points that George Washington has allowed, that they've surrendered, is the most points they've allowed in a game in this tournament. They limited Gardena to 32, Franklin to 32, and Harbor Teacher to 27. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Generals. So the offensive output by Vaughn is somewhat surprising.
Yes, but they've been able to get more opportunities because of the turnovers they've been able to produce. And I noticed that the big adjustment they've made is they're putting pressure on the outside of the Washington Prep players.
Cage for three. The quickness of Helen Cervantes. Able to race that one down and retrieve it before it went out of bounds. Ferreira. Bingo. All nylon. 5 triples for Yami. The lead is 11. Surprisingly. Lucian. Taken down by El Yoki.
Ferrara has 19 points and 5 threes. Really impressive performance.
Too many steps, a walk. Whistled against Helen Cervantes. Well, we're going to have to pick a player of the game. Got the 2 Cervantes girls, and certainly Ferrar and Washington Prep rallies. Could be Cage, could be Lucian, as Johnson checks back in, number 15. Just above 7 minutes left to decide this one. Generals are going to have to make a move. But everything is contested. They trap Lucian. Underneath, that would have counted had it have gone for Harris. She'll shoot 2.
Yeah, Vaughn came out trapping the ball a lot more in the third quarter, and it's really produced dividends.
Harris at the line, 2 shots.
2 shots for Jasmine. 15 years of age, just a sophomore. I like the fact that Vaughn is staying aggressive defensively, not sitting on the 11-point lead and getting passive.
Well, that gave them the 11-point lead, that aggressiveness, so there's no reason to stop yet because Washington Prep hasn't adjusted.
Vaughn looking for its 8th win in a row and looking for the championship of D3. That one's smooth. 10-point game. Just under 7 to play. Plenty of time for the Generals to rally. But they got to stop the passing of Cervantes. Ferreira missed a relatively easy shot. But the Generals turned it over, unforced. Cervantes got hit on the arm. She'll shoot 2. It was Lucian that got her.
This really has shown the importance of having a point guard to control the offense and also spark the defense, and that's what Andrea Cervantes has done. Really provided stability on the court. Washington Prep has 22 turnovers, so that's an issue.
3 fouls on Lucian. 1 more for number 1. Better. Smooth delivery there. Lead is 11. And again, they continue to press. They're playing like they're behind in the game. Lucian with a great look inside to Harris. Didn't finish. And a foul against George Washington Prep.
Number 12, Jasmine Harris, first personal.
First infraction on Jasmine Harris.
Remember, regardless who wins this game, both schools are headed to the state playoff. So there won't be a whole lot of disappointment, maybe disappointment in losing a championship, but the season goes on.
Look at that passing. How smooth is that? As Hazel Martinez puts it in. But the ball movement is exquisite. It's a 13-point lead for number 2, Vaughn. Harris all the way. Shots are just not falling for the Generals. They need to score. 49-36. for the perceived underdog. After watching these two teams, I don't know how much of an upset this really is. Still time, though, for the Generals. Cervantes with the takeaway. The outlet to her sister, Helen, underneath. How many times have they had the takeaway? Foul on the outside against Cervantes.
Andrea's going to have a talk with Helen about missing that layup. You know, sisters, if you pass the ball to your sister, you're supposed to give her an assist there. Get an assist. She took away that assist.
We saw Deron Marshall. I think he's probably stunned at this point. There's the anticipation of Helen versus Cervantes. Ferreira looking for the dagger. 5:20 to play. Lucian all the way. She draws the foul.
So Ferrara's got 19 points. Andrea Cervantes has 15 points, and that's tough to overcome in this low-scoring game.
And again, you got to knock down these foul shots. You see Lucian get to the basket. Cervantes picking up her 4th foul. But when you're down like this, you need to make these charities. She banked that one in. She'll take it. The lead is a dozen. Open. Bingo. 3 more for Andrea Cervantes. Above her average of 12.
Has 18 points now.
And a steal by her sister Helen. And she's fouled. Vaughn's in great shape.
15-point lead. Time is running out on Washington Prep.
I don't remember a team with a lead at any level staying this aggressive. You almost sense that they're behind the way they're playing.
It's really the right move. They saw that it was effective there in the third quarter, so no reason to pull off the aggressiveness.
Washington Prep takes the timeout. Just under 5 minutes to play. Israel Ortiz out to meet his club, and for Deron Marshall, they need to regroup. Again, George Washington Prep wants to build their program back up to where it was in yesteryear when they won the 4 championships in the early 90s and late 80s, and when in 96, Julie Rousseau, who later went on to coach the Sparks and now is in the LA36 Hall of Fame, led the Generals to a title. They came in here as the number 1 seed, but they've been outplayed.
Yes, this really shows the changing of the LA City section. The new schools and the charter schools have really taken over from the schools that used to win these championships. Washington Prep was a Division I powerhouse, and much has changed. Demographics have changed. So many new schools have opened up. So, but it's all about stability, I think, right now. And Vaughn's coach has been there for 14 years. Stability wins out. You see that in the boys, and you're seeing that in the girls.
Helen Cervantes to the free throw line. Well, the two Cervantes young ladies, along with Ferreira, have really scored big tonight for Vaughn. Division III championship at stake. LA City section. Still not impossible for the Generals. Cervantes knocks down the second one. 53-37. Helen Cervantes nearly got another steal. Boy, does she have quick hands. On the outside, this foul's going against the White Tigers.
Number 5, Helen Cervantes, 4th.
4 fouls on Helen Cervantes. 1-1, 17 foul. Going to the charity stripe is Ronisha McClain, the 5'4", 17-year-old senior. floor leader, very coachable player for Deron Marshall. And again, they foul at the line, and we have a tie-up, and the ball will go to Vaughn, like everything else. Well, we're at Narbonne tonight because the Birmingham Gymnasium had a leak, and with the inclement weather, they moved the site. And moving it here to Narbonne has been a great thing for these White Tigers.
It's a long way from Pacoima.
Well, they played well. Here comes Cervantes. Andrea bouncing underneath, another layup. Easy for Hazel Martinez. The dime for Andrea Cervantes. And they force another turnover. And they're up 18 suddenly. We did not see this coming.
Well, I know who the MVP of this game is, and that's Andrea Cervantes. She's just been scoring, passing, leading the defense, 18 points. Who knows how many assists right now, Randy?
One is coming after another El Yoki basket. The Vaughn lead is 20 here. El Yoki for the three-point play. Boy, did she clean that up nicely. So it's the Vaughn Tigers that have come to Harbor City and played a brilliant basketball game. They've been the better team throughout.
Remember, this game was tied in the third quarter.
And another turnover as they tried to go inside to Davis. You keeping track of the turnovers? How many is that? 25, I think.
27 turnovers.
Wow. Vaughn gives it back. And the Generals return the favor. 28 turnovers. Inside of 4 minutes to play. That's all that separates the Tigers from the championship. Two more for Hazel Martinez. Well, the volleyball players looking pretty good on the basketball floor. 60-37. I think the greatest surprise here is how many takeaways they're getting. Two more for Andrea. 29 thefts. 29 takeaways. Duran cannot believe it. Duran's Marshall's team has been dominated late in this game.
Remember, it was Washington Prep that was supposed to be full court pressing, remember? Unfortunately, it's the reverse. The half court trapping defense of Vaughn turned this game around, and there's the coach of the game.
Israel Ortiz, you would think he was trailing by 25. He's up 25. But again, I love that philosophy. How often do you see teams sit on a lead? They got even more aggressive when they had the advantage.
Just one turnover after another. This Vaughn team is going to remember this weekend. It's going to be snowing in LA, Randy. But who knows that they're going to remember this championship they won.
Well, it doesn't appear that anything's going to rain on the parade of the Vaughn Tigers. 62-37, and they have blitzed Washington Prep in recent minutes. What was a very close, entertaining game has turned into a blowout. Lucian comes right back to her. She comes underneath. She puts it up. That won't go. They continue to run. Helen Cervantes. Two more. They are repeatedly beating the Generals down the floor. 30 turnovers. Smart basketball. Ferreira realized she didn't need to take the three. They're working against the clock now. They have enough points. How smart a basketball team is this?
Unselfish, that's what I call them.
2 more for Andrea. 66-37.
22 points for Andrea Cervantes.
Reaching foul. That should do it for Helen. By our count, that would be 5.
Foul number 5, Helen Cervantes, her 5th personal. 18 foul.
Replaced by Belle Alvarez, a 14-year-old freshman. What a round of applause for Helen Cervantes.
So Washington Prep took a 32-31 lead with 4:02 left in the third quarter. They've been now outscored 35-5 the rest of the way.
Juju does not earn the bonus. Andrea Cervantes. Ferreira for 3. 6 triples for Ferreira. 69-37. What a great shooting night for the White Tigers.
22 points for Ferrara.
Under 2 minutes to play. And now the subs are coming in. We're the would-be champions. What a great job by the first teamers. Carrie Trieu comes in, number 30. We'll try to identify the players for you. Alyssa Alvarado, number 25, has checked in. Number 12, Layla Ortega. '32, Valerie Kovian is also in. And a rebound. Taken down by the only rotation player, Hernandez, who's still on the floor for the White Tigers. Great opportunity. All the players getting an opportunity to perform in the championship game. Near steal by Jade White. 69-37. Did you ever believe when we had a tight battle just a few minutes ago that the scoreboard would have this kind of discrepancy?
That's what happens when you execute a game plan, and this is all about Vaughn doing what it had to do to win this game.
They'll take the shot clock violation. They don't really care at this point.
Violation.
So the 30 seconds expired. There's Coach Ortiz. He works. He works that sideline. Still coaching. Talking to his regulars who have a seat on the bench after a job well done. Just a tough shooting night for the Generals. Another tie-up. Generals keep it. Final 62 seconds. Again, you can't emphasize them. Now, if the Generals only allow 32, then 32, then 27 in the 3 playoff games, Vaughn's hit him for 69 here. White lost it out of bounds. Can the Vaughn Tigers
1 minute.
reach 70 plus? We'll walk it into the front court. There's really no hurry here as Trieu comes across the timeline. Officials timeout for the moment.
Israel Ortiz is finally relaxed, sitting on the bench. Randy has been up the whole game.
He could have relaxed about 15 minutes ago. Racing down the floor is Perth. She turns it over. Again, these are backups in there now. But it's terrific that they get the experience to play in the championship game. Final 40 seconds. 69-37. There's a turnover out in front. There's Andrea Cervantes. Big game. Better than 20 points tonight. There's one that banked off the iron. Taken in by Ortega. And that walk is whistled against Alvarado. Final few seconds, then the celebration. Washington has not been able to score the ball in the second half. And there's a forced turnover. That's great defense from Triu. 5 seconds, and then the White Tigers will jump for joy. Their second ever title. They won one in 2017. Vaughn is the champion of D3 in the LA City section.
Southern California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
The Vaughn White Tigers are the champions of Division III in the LA City section with a resounding second half effort, 69-37 over Washington Prep. Randy Rosenblum back with you here at Narbonne High School. And our Pacific Surfliner player of the game is Andrea Cervantes, who was terrific. She scored 22 points, propelling her White Tigers to their second school championship. Andrea, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Your thoughts? You've just won the championship. What's going through your mind?
I'm happy that we won because we really wanted to win, and I think we worked hard.
How about you like seeing these baskets fall? You scored 22 points.
That's my sister.
Yeah, I know. It's Helen. What's it like playing with Helen? You seem to have great chemistry together.
Yeah, we've been playing for a very long time together. We've been in a travel team, and we have always played together. So that's why.
You were able to force a lot of turnovers. Washington Prep had 30 turnovers. How'd that pressure bother Washington? And were you surprised that we were able to get that many turnovers against the Generals?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I don't know what to say. Just that.
So at what point in the year did you guys think you might have a chance of winning a city title?
Like last year, we didn't even make it to the third round of like this. So I didn't really think we were going to stand a chance this time either. But then when I saw how we played, we ended up doing it.
Are you looking forward to the state tournament?
Yes, I'm excited.
That'll be a lot of fun. Coming in, did you feel confident after the change? You thought you were going to play in the Valley. Then suddenly you have to come all the way out to Narbonne and Harbor City. Did you guys have the confidence on the bus ride? Did you sense this could be your night?
Yeah, we did have confidence. We were all like, if we're coming all the way, we've gotten so far, then we have to win.
Well, Andrea, congratulations on a wonderful performance. 22 points. You're our Pacific Surfliner player of the game.
Thank you.
Andrea Cervantes, the senior star. Her sister Helen was great as well. We'll come back, have some parting thoughts. Eric will join me right after this on LA36.
Hey, it's Vanessa exploring San Luis Obispo, and I stayed right here at Apple Farm Inn.
Combining the charm of a country-style inn with the modern conveniences of a luxury hotel, Apple Farm Inn is a great place to unwind. Start the trip off right by taking the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner train to San Luis Obispo. Enjoy sweeping views of the coastline and arrive refreshed and ready to explore. Plan your trip at pacificsurfliner.com/game of the week.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back to the Pavilion, the Gaucho Pavilion on the Narbonne campus as Vaughn wins 69-37. Randy Rosenthal back with Eric Sondheimer. The two Cervantes girls and Ferreira were just terrific for the White Tigers.
Yeah, and I just felt like the head coach for Vaughn, Israel Ortiz, a masterful job just creating the defense to force 32 turnovers and letting the other players just take over on offense. It was an aggressiveness that won this game.
And for Vaughn, this is their second title, but they've moved up a division. So I would imagine at this point in the school's trajectory, this is the greatest win in school history.
Yeah, they just took charge in the second half. It was Washington Prep was up by 1 point, and then the game ended basically. They outscored 39-5. So congratulations to Vaughn. Washington Prep, this is a step forward in rebuilding a program that has been one of the best in the city at one point. So both of these teams can take this game and get ready for the state now.
Well, that's going to wrap it up in our Division III Girls Championship game. Vaughn High School by 69-37. What a performance by the White Tigers. For Eric Sondheimer, I'm Randy Rosenthal. That's going to do it in our D3 title game. We'll come back and have another championship game for you a little bit later. But for now, Vaughn wins at 69-37. For Eric, I'm Randy, and for our entire LA36 crew, that'll do it on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on LA36.
You're watching LA36, television dedicated to lifelong learning.